Hello everyone. Let us understand the concept of IFRS and the Ind AS. So before we proceed with the IFRS and the Ind AS, first have a small glance at accounting standard. What is accounting standard means to us? Basically, when we go through with the different accounting process, accounting practice and the accounting policies, many a time we hear about the word called AS, that is nothing but the accounting standard. What is basically accounting standard means? It is a kind of framework within which the financial statement, that is profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow, and different accounting practices are being prepared and proceed. Accounting standards are nothing but the boundaries within which the financial statements are being prepared. So in other words, you can say that it is nothing but the stated rules and regulations to be followed while preparing the financial statement, while adopting the accounting practice, and while implementing the accounting policies. So the main thing is that accounting standard is nothing but the harmonization of the different accounting policies and the practice which are followed by the organization. For example, while calculating the closing stock of any organization, you need to apply the different methods of valuation of closing stock, which may be a FIFO method, LIFO method, weighted average method. So while implementing the policy, you have to follow certain standard rules so that all the organization follow the standard rules and they get a standard result. Now, why these accounting standards are there? What are the object behind AS? The very first objective is to standardize to diverse different accounting policies. There are different accounting policies adopted by the different organization, but there has to be certain standard among them. To maintain those standards, the accounting standards are being implemented. The second objective is the standardizing the accounting practice. Whenever you do a different accounting transactions to be recorded, you follow the practice of recording those transactions through journal book, subsidiary book, ledger book. So there are certain standard issue that how you have to prepare journal, subsidiary and ledger book so that a uniformity can be maintained and you can understand the comparability among the different organization. The another objective of preparing or maintaining the AS is the non-comparability of the financial statement. You just understand and you assume that if different organizations started preparing their own financial statement with their own formats, how difficult it will be to understand them, how difficult it will be to compare them. That's the reason if the accounting standards are followed, all the organizations will basically follow a standard process and the standard format, which will helps for the comparison. And finally, it enhances the reliability. Because when you follow the accounting standards, accounting rules and regulation, the financial statement shows the reliability of the statement and the accounting process. Now, we move to the accounting standard ahead. In India, we have a premier accounting academy called ICAI. This is the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, which on 21st April 1977 formed a board called Accounting Standard Board. What is the work of this accounting standard board? Its basic work is to draft the accounting standards in India. Like we have an international accounting standard also, which are followed at a global level. And these international accounting standards are prepared by International Accounting Standard Board. So in a similar way, we have a ASB who prepares accounting standard. So till till July 2008, we have total 32 accounting standards which are issued by the ASB and which are implemented by the ICAI. Now, moving towards IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standard. It is nothing but a kind of, a global accounting standard which are used by the 125 countries all over the world. Earlier, they were having one committee called International Accounting Standard Committee, which was basically issuing the International Accounting Standard. But this committee used to be into a nightmare. So they just convert that committee into a board, which is now called as International Accounting Standard Board. And this International Accounting Standard Board again prepares a new accounting standard, which are called IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standard. But for your kind information, IFRS is nothing but the new series, a new version of International Accounting Standard. So if in simple language, if you want to understand IFRS, so what is IFRS is nothing but the revised series or the revised updated version of International Accounting Standard. Till date, we have total 15 IFRS issued by the IASB. Now further, we can understand what is the scope of IFRS. Basically, the IFRS provides a conformity of the provisions of applicable law, custom, usage, and business environment. It generally provides a framework within which business environment has to operate and record its accounting transaction which are accepted at a global level. Secondly, IFRS is nothing but, see, the new number series of international accounting standards. Further, IFRS refers to an entire body of IASB pronouncement. I told you that IASB, International Accounting Standard Board, which is a revised version of International Accounting Standard Committee, which was earlier issuing International Accounting Standard. Now the revised version of that International Accounting Standard are called as IFRS. So till date, we have total 41 International Accounting Standard, 15 IFRS, 33 Standard Interpretation Committee, 21 IFRS Interpretation Committees. This is what about the IFRS is all about. Then we can go ahead with the Ind AS. So what is Ind AS? Ind AS means earlier there, I told you right now only ki we have one premier apex body of the accounting, that is ICAI, which has already implemented 32 accounting standards in India. So the Ind AS are notified by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and Ministry of Corporate Affairs has constructed a core group. What that core group generally includes: ICAI, Ministry of Finance, SEBI, RBI, IRDA, CANAG, that is the auditors group, PFRDA. So every time they are trying to amendment the AS according to the Companies Act 1956, which are related to the Schedule 6 and Schedule 14. So if someone says that what is basically the Ind AS? Ind AS is nothing but the conversion of the accounting standard with reference to IFRS. That is called Ind AS. Thank you everyone for the listening.